Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you live from lockdown, San Francisco, California. Almost 10 days in lockdown, and I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing okay. Now, I do work from home these days, so I guess it's a little easier for me. Mrs. Nerdrotic's going a little nuts, but that's okay. She's fine. She's fine. We go on our daily walks, and that's the only time I have been outside of my house for 10 days now. 10 days. And greetings, everyone. Sorry, my beard's a little ratty. So yeah, I'm looking for a sponsor for beard grooming. I will take that. Hi, everyone. Well, we can thank celebrities for unintentionally entertaining us with their stupidity. We can also thank Marvel for being Marvel. We can thank the creatives, quote, creatives at Marvel's antagonists. I'm going to call them that. The antagonists at Marvel being themselves of late and going off and probably abandoning comic shops with this digital first stuff that's being thrown around. Now, we all know that's not the solution, and we'll get into that. I'd like to thank Bounding Into Comics, who's been on point this week. John F. Trent, hail, my brother. And I would just like to thank everyone who identifies with the hashtag, or under the hashtag, the Fandom Menace, for doing some great work out there, and all the other folks who are, trying to entertain people as much as possible, keep their mind off things. And that's what I intend to do. And I'm going to address something again. I talked about this with my patrons this morning that has been brought up, and it's a good question, but I have an answer for it. And it's providing an alternative. There's the question out there of, are we just complaining about things, or are we going to offer solutions at some point? Well, I would maintain we do. We already do that with what we do. I'll get into that more later. Also, Star Trek Picard is free. Did you know it's free? They offered it for free, except it's not for free. And I have to credit Mrs. Nerdrotic for calling it clickbait. CBS just clickbaited all the Star Trek fans because I'm not gonna bury the lead here. Apparently, you have to give them your credit card information and choose a payment plan, which is not different from the offer they had before. They had a 7-day free offer, and I believe for a portion of the time of Star Trek Picard, they had a month free offer, which is what they're calling free. But it's not exactly free, is it? Because you have to give them personal information. Why not just open it up? Why not premiere the episode right now? Why do they have to do that? I thought it was popular. I thought they needed money. Apparently, they're not getting as much as they thought. And this is during the time where they have a captive audience. We're also going to discuss Westworld's sinking ratings. And while the last episode was an improvement, it was a course correction, and it was absolute improvement. Get woke, go broke. You wait 2 years, you alienate a bunch of your audience, for the second time in a major series, you have either a father get murdered or you have a father murder a daughter on Father's Day. Not an accident, HBO. People notice that stuff. And at a time where we want to be pro-family, pro-togetherness, less divisive, I don't think it's being divisive pointing out the divisiveness. Again, I'm not persecuting or antagonizing anybody for your political or religious beliefs or whatever. You can believe what you like. You're welcome here. But constantly dividing the fandom in entertainment and in comics has led to an industry falling apart before our very eyes. And as I discussed yesterday in my videos, they are not solely responsible for the damage done prior to their divisiveness, but they are 100% responsible for everything after that. By the way, I've now been blocked by Tom King. So I'm blocked by Tom King and Dan Slott. I wear it as a badge of honor. Badge of honor. I don't really care what the guy has to say after what I saw him say. And my God, Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker from Doctor Who, they just put up a message that I thought was terrible, utterly terrible. And we'll watch it live in a little bit. Now, I might be wrong on this one, but I would think that you would want to have a calming voice in this situation, especially when you're directing it towards children. So, as a dad, I have conversations with my youngest, Logan Nerdrotic Jr., and he's concerned. Of course he's concerned. He's being good about it, and but I'm sure all of our youngsters are concerned, and it's our job as parents, no matter how we feel, is to calm them down and be real with them. Be real, don't lie. But I don't think that was very calming, in my opinion. But this is the tone deaf deep BBC we're talking about here. So let's see who came here. A Midnight's Edge After Dark. Hail, Tom. Tom, do you sleep? I see you live streaming at all hours. I mean, I don't sleep either. I'm not judging or anything, buddy. Again, once I get my software worked out, I can bring people on these solo streams the way I broadcast it through OBS. I can't bring on guests, or I would. And maybe we'll do that soon. I talked to Young Ripa yesterday. Please, when I'm done here, go and check out his channel. We did a podcast. That dude is brilliant. And he's going to be on Friday Night Tights. So we got Tom from Midnight's Edge. We got Sean Allen. We got Michael Henley, who is a member. Thank you, Michael Henley. Fortunate Son, F. Tom King, damn straight. F. Tom King, dude. F. Tom King. I got stories. I can't tell you the whole story. I probably said too much in my live stream last time, but like he really hung somebody out to dry. Somebody some of us may know. Chris Persia, the best Canadian wrench out there. Thank you, Chris Persia. Angry Toy Box. That's what this room is right now. It's an angry toy box. And thank you. Thank you. R.I.P. Patrick Troughton. Nerdy Nazgul. Yes. Disrespecting the second Doctor, which he will always be. Yeah, Doctor Who is trying. The fandom is trying. That vocal minority is trying to turn things around. And it's just not going to help. Can't wait to see those Christmas ratings. Many enjoy destroying, but to build something strong and lasting is something. And the memes of destruction, it is very difficult to rebuild a fandom. And this has been pointed out by a lot of people. When it comes to comic shops, I said it yesterday, Diamond stopping and putting all of the accounts on hold means you have to take these accounts off hold. And you have to get everything going. You're basically starting not from scratch, but pretty damn close. As somebody who had his account put on hold and then taken off it against my, it wasn't my decision, but it was taken off hold. All of a sudden, you start missing large portions of titles you ordered, or completely missing titles. You get half your shipments for about 2 or 3 months. Diamond is very slow on returning money. I am very interested to see how they will be handling returns. I will be very interested to see how they handle the credit system, which might fall apart. Diamond has credit with other people too. I wonder how good their credit is, because if their credit's not good, then your credit with them really isn't good either. There's a lot of things to consider right here, and you can't just get this machine going again in a week. And is Marvel and DC going to dump a bunch of titles on them? Oh, by the way, DC, have we heard? I mean, I checked a little bit this morning. Have we heard anything from DC at all? I did see on their Twitter, they said to support your local comic book shop. Well, thank you. That is some brilliant leadership by Jim Lee. Jim Lee, who didn't finish any books. I'm still waiting for Wildcats 2 by Grant. Grant Morrison wrote that, right? I think I remember. Hang on. We're gonna get to Brian Hibbs' Facebook here. And I missed this one yesterday, so we're gonna show it today. Why the F is it news? Oh, what the hell? Why the fuck is it news sites telling us this rather than Diamond or the publishers? There's a scary line at Bleeding Cool. There are plans for digital first publication being discussed. That would be a knife in the eye. And every second that goes by that publishers are not renouncing, this crushes the morale of the direct market retailer more and more. Now, I saw that Tom King, who came out against digital, was now a proponent of it. Funny, when their cheddar's on the line, you see where people stand. You know, it's times like these. You find out who the leaders are. You find out what the organization you're dealing with is, the company is. And Diamond moving so slow on this one and communicating through Newsarama, Bleeding Cool. When they have their own website, they have Twitter. Marvel has a YouTube channel with 13.8 million subscribers, which I know that would reach more people than a tweet. That would reach more people than something posted on their website. So Brian's not happy with that. I don't blame him. Now, I've talked to a couple people. I haven't talked to Brian. Like I stated before, Brian and I aren't like buds. But I sympathize with him completely, and I empathize. And, this is just pure speculation on my part. The shop he purchased from me, without giving too many details, was doing well enough to keep it prior to what was going on, although we did talk about maybe me coming back, and he was just floating it out there. He wasn't completely sure if he was going to sell it or not. He's just kind of testing the waters. And we had a lunch, and that was the last time we talked in person. And then I wanted to get a statement from him for a video, and I got the middle finger. The middle finger. That's all right. You know, I guess opinions hurt people sometimes. They're viciously terrible. Oh, this pisses me off though. And, it's too late at this point to start thinking about returnability. And, these things should have been talked about at the get-go. And I don't think it's harmful to come out and say, we're working on a plan for returnability. They're going to have to extend that. Marvel offered discounts to shops that aren't going to be able to get books at this point and sell them to actual customers. So I don't know what the solution is if it goes too long. Now, if it ends in a couple weeks, I think a lot of shops can survive. But I've talked about this with people in DMs, and I talked about it with young Ripa yesterday. 2 months, maybe 50% will be gone. 3 months, 50% of the shops would probably be gone or thinking about being gone. If it goes longer than that, it is much, much worse. As I've stated before, comic shops live diamond bill to diamond bill, which is essentially paycheck to paycheck, and digital. Digital first is their big solution. So how long has digital been around? I can't remember. 8 years, 7 years, 10 years. I remember when it popped up, I hated the idea. And yes, admittedly, I'm biased. I had a comic shop and I'm still biased. And the thing that kept digital from growing, although I don't think it would have grown that much, but the thing that kept it from growing were two things. And I mentioned it yesterday. Marvel had released CD-ROMs of complete runs of major Marvel comics, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, I believe the Hulk, just to name a few, on a CD-ROM with no security. So you could put these CDs in your computer and rip the PDF files of all 500 comic books. And it was all you needed was a PDF Adobe reader to read them. And the second those were released, they were put out on the internet for free. So that, probably because they didn't think digital will become a thing. Now, I personally don't like reading comic books on an iPad or a computer. I like the tangible experience. It's a niche market, and I think the vast majority of readers, it's nice to have as an aside, but it's not going to work. And it would have worked by now. But what did keep it from working, I will admit, was there were rules in place that the comic shops got first dibs. And the pricing had to be equal. You couldn't release a comic book for $1 on digital, which would have probably helped it grow. Although again, once it hits the internet, it's free. And there were already people who would come in my store and freely admit that they were sailing the high seas for comic books and reading them. And then they would come in and read them in my store. And I guess I could have been a dick about it. But I allowed people to read my comics. Not the key issues and not the stuff that was, in the premium section, but they could read the new releases. Kids could read the new releases if it was age appropriate. I didn't care, because if they're reading the comic book, chances are most people might buy it. Yes, occasionally you got some guy who was waiting for the bus because there was not a bus stop, but a train stop in front of my shop. And people would just want to kill time. I didn't care. Honestly, again, I could be a dick, but it was so few, it didn't matter. And, maybe everybody's a potential customer. Marvel, everybody is a potential customer. So that was behind my decision. Like, yeah, at first it irked me, but when I saw that guy reading the comic for the first time and I knew he was just killing time, I don't know. It's something just clicked in my head. It's something I learned from my friend Doug, the official Dougie J, who was sometimes in this stream. He was a good friend of mine growing up and my boss at the Warehouse Records. And he taught me about customer service. And you need to be kind at all times. Everybody's a potential buyer. You can tell the looky-loos. It doesn't matter because they might come back later. You can never afford to lose one. I could gain 10 customers in a day, and if I lost one, I would lose sleep. And I would think long and hard how I lost that customer and make sure that didn't happen again. It doesn't mean I rolled over and put up with any BS. I did have 2 rules in my comic shop. No politics, and you can't use the bathroom unless I know you. And I've already told the bathroom story. Or maybe I should repeat it here. And I just heard from my insider here. So the bathroom story is when I first purchased the comic shop from Russell Quadra. He had adult comic books on the top shelf of the new release section. I didn't think about it much at first until I was going to Gelogia, and I opened the bathroom door, and there's a guy whacking it to a comic book in my bathroom. So I closed the door hastily, allowed him to finish, hopefully wash his hands. And remember to wash your hands, everybody. Told him to get the fuck out. And I removed all the adult comic books, and they forever. And lesson learned. Plus, lock the door. Lock the damn door if you're going to, go take care of business. You caught me a little late, Insider. Let me scan this a little bit. This is a Star Trek Insider just reporting to me. Okay, here we go. Gary, I see you're about to go live. I do have some info. They need a certain number to justify a second season of Picard. That is why they are giving it away for free. So a certain number of subscribers, and that's what I'm guessing right there. I want to repeat, they do not have a green light yet for season 2. And I'm not surprised at all. And remember, the entire premise of Picard is based on a product of the alternate license. So if Kurtzman goes, which looks probable, Picard goes. Now, please, grain of salt, file this under rumor. This is unconfirmed, but this is a person I've talked to for quite some time. And considering things that are going on right now, are you surprised? CBS has much bigger things to worry about right now. Redstone is buying her own stock, and I wanted her to take over. I wanted Viacom and CBS to merge. I wanted them to make good Star Trek. And oh, by the way, I will be live for the finale, little plug, 12:15 a.m. Pacific time. We'll all be up anyway. It's not like we have to go to work. Join me, and we can see if it all makes sense at the end, and maybe it'll just all wrap up. And I'll go, damn, that was a good start. No, that's not going to happen. Come on. Thank you, Insider. Alrighty. My God, I had a little mini heart attack right there. I was like, I hope I didn't have my screen up. That would suck. Well, live streaming, one-man show. Woo! So, smash that melee button, as Mark Lurzeth says, as I recover from my mini heart attack. Let's get to you guys, and then we're going to go to Bounding into Comics. Like I said, John F. Trent has been killing it. He deserves that Pulitzer Prize that he's gonna obviously throw away as soon as he wins it, because he doesn't want to identify with that. Also, I don't want to say her name. You know that famous grifter that a certain YouTube. Oh man, I got to be so vague about this. From Gamergate. One of the ones from Gamergate that a certain YouTuber made about 197,000 videos on, made one of the dumbest tweets I have ever seen last night, and we will go over that as well. We'll do it towards the end of the show, though, so it doesn't. There's a little skullduggery going on here as far as live streaming is going. I noticed, Tom, if you're out there, the High Council yesterday got ghosted. It did. And again, it shows up on the left-hand side, you're live, but it doesn't show up in your feed. And you guys never showed up in my subscription feed last night, which sucks. We got Fran Drescher, I mean, is she still a star right now? People are calling out capitalism at a time like this, and it's just, I mean, it's eye rolling. It's eye rolling. And then, of course, we have the Jodie Whittaker statement. But I've been looking for anything from DC. Anything from DC. But we'll start out with Picard. Why not we start out with Picard, since we were talking about that? Boop. Ba-doop, boop. All right, Bounding into Comics. After flagging viewership, Star Trek Picard, Star Patrick Stewart, that got me confused, unveils free access to CBS All Ass through April. And it's not an April Fool's joke. After flagging viewership numbers in Canada, as well as declining interest via Google Trends in the United States, Star Trek Picard actor Sir Patrick Stewart announced CBS was rolling out free access to CBS All Ass so people can watch the show. Star Trek Picard viewership plummeted over 500,000 viewers in Canada since it premiered. The show originally premiered in Canada with 1.851 million viewers on January 23rd. By the 5th episode, the show's viewership dropped to 1.309 million viewers. I'm surprised that many were still watching, to be honest with you. The latest data out of Canada indicates viewership has fallen even further. The March 5th episode, Nepenthe, which was episode 7, saw viewership at 1.246 million. Not only has viewership in Canada consistently declined, but Google Trends searches also show waning interest in the United States. Following the first episode, Google Trends showed a significant decrease in searches for the search term Star Trek Picard. And there you can see the graph provided right there, and there is another graph provided. The interest has continued to decline, as you can see, from a 90-day perspective. Not only has interest in the show declined, but CBS stock has also plummeted over the past year. It popped up a little bit to $15 this morning. I did check. There was a little bit of a bounce back, and I mean, that's good for the stock market. Now it appears, in order to stop the bleeding, CBS is offering CBS All Ass for free. Or are they? In order to try and get people to take interest in Star Trek. Stewart posted on his Instagram, "It felt good to bring Picard back and completely destroy him, deconstruct him, and have him get yelled at by a woman every single episode, walk around with his hands either behind his back or over his genitals, and walking behind women." He added, "Our Star Trek Picard season finale is Thursday, and starting today until 4/23, you can watch for free on CBS All Ass in the United States with the code GIFT. Link in the bio to sign up. Stewart concluded, I can't wait to reunite with our cast and crew for season 2. Well, so are you going to be in it? You're not going to go into the Golem? They're not going to turn you into one of Daj's or Soji's sister or Sutra? You can be Karma, and she could be Sutra. Speaking of karma, Kurtzman. Karma. In the video, Stewart states, caring for the good of other people, living honestly, being compassionate, understanding, and beheading as many people as possible. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. There was an absolute necessity for someone to name Romulegalos Sister Boy. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't in there either. For everyone to be treated in the same way by being beheaded by Sister Boy. That was the heart of Star Trek. Too bad this show doesn't have a heart. How to become more human. I love it when wasn't Star Trek Picard supposed to be introspective, a character study of Picard? I love it when people from Hollywood try to show us how to be more human. He adds, Star Trek became legendary because of Rick Berman, Gene Roddenberry, yourself, Ronald D. Moore, Naren Shankar, writers like Mark Zickery, a lot of DC Fontana. There's a lot of reasons Star Trek is part of our DNA here in the United States and other, and you are completely destroying it. You are shaming it. He then discussed, we are so excited to bring back Picard again. Star Trek head honcho Alex Kurtzman then adds, we can be better. I'm going to do my best Alex Kurtzman voice here. We can be better. We as humans can be better. We as a species can be better. And Star Trek is the vision of that. Every time I have Romulegalos behead a human, it shows what we think of you. And it shows how we can be better. Look at how efficiently he chopped off the heads of some of his fellow Romulans. And some of some more Romulans, of some of the Zhat Vash. The clip also includes comments from astronaut Mae Jemison and Anson Mount. Anson Mount's an astronaut? When did Anson Mount become an astronaut? Astronaut, sorry. Who plays Captain Pike? Captain Pike in Star Trek Discard. It ends with a thank you to the fans. It reads, thank you for being a part of this next chapter of Star Trek. Thank all 5 or 10 of you. The free access to CBS All Access still requires users to choose a payment plan and submit their credit card information. It also appears to be similar to their previous offer of a month free upon subscription. This appears to be purely a PR stunt. You're being kind there. It's clickbait bullshit. It's a scam. What do you make of the fact that CBS is making CBS All Access available for free until April 23rd? They obviously don't like people, although they want to be more human because we can be better, everybody. Hey, let's watch Star Trek Picard to be better. Ay. Oh, God. I keep checking to see if anybody else is talking about the comic book industry. It doesn't look like it. I don't see any new news. I'm going to go to Newsarama. I hate going to that site. Newsarama. It used to be good. Oh, Gail Simone rallies fans for a new Marvel and DC crossover. I would love to see that. I wouldn't want to see it written by Gail Simone or Tom King. I mean, can you imagine a Marvel and DC crossover written by Tom King? Here's Batman and Captain Marvel being sad together. They're sitting at a table being sad. Oh, God. So Star Trek is in deep trouble. And it has been prior to this, okay? I was hearing things prior to it airing. And this is fans rejecting this crap. And wow, the timing of Westworld and Star Trek Picard and just the general tone, it's, basically it's humanity bad, and we're going to use androids to show how bad we are to, they're using it as allegory to show how bad we are to other people, or how bad we are to each other. And, we should just be wiped out because we can be better. We can be better. Celebrities coming out railing against capitalism, not realizing that their shows are a product of a very healthy and affluent society. And a lot of the arguing we have been doing over the last, clapping back actually, because, this constant, we just got an announcement today that in The Immortal Hulk, one of the longtime characters is going to be transgender. And I didn't even read the article. I'm just, of course, because every comic has to have that. Now, nothing against it. You do you. I have no problem with anybody, with how they identify. I don't care. But we talk about representation and inclusivity. What percentage are we talking about of the population, really? And if it shows up in a comic book once in a while, or if you make a character, that's representation. Something in every single book when your sales are going down and it's because of your political pandering. And no, nobody actually thinks you care about any of this. That's the whole point. It's superficial. It's bullshit. It's virtue signaling to get yourself attention on Twitter, and you're destroying the narrative of something that's been around for decades, created by better people, better men and women. And, Yellow Flash did a video yesterday in the beginning. He has the interview with Kelly Sue DeConnick, who said, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. And that's been the attitude of damn near everybody at Marvel and DC of late. And no, we're not going to buy your book. No, we're not. And now we got Gail Simone calling for a Marvel and DC crossover. How about Gail Simone apologize to the fans? Sincerely, you got a YouTube channel. You might get some subs from it. And I offered on the Inquisition, I gave her time. She could come on my channel. I'll give her a few minutes to genuinely apologize to the fans. Apologize for insinuating or sometimes outright calling people ists, phobes, and Yahtzees. And to restate, that's a clownfish TV term for the bad guys from Germany. It's YouTube speak. And that offer is still open. If we want to mend fences and make things better for the comic shops, because clearly, look, they're just trying to, we all know this, they're trying to cover their own ass right now. They don't give a wet slap about comic shops. Remember when Ricky Gervais at the Oscars said if those really bad people who dressed in all black from the Middle East offered a streaming service, that every actor would be calling their agent? Same thing goes for comic book creatives. If those same people offered a publisher, if they were offering publishing, those people would be on the phone with their agents if they have them. If they don't, I would highly recommend they get them. That's partially what protects a lot of the celebrities. And now you're seeing a lot of the celebrities separated because they're on lockdown. They're separated from their representation, and they're not there to protect them. And woo, are we getting some good stuff. We are getting some good stuff. But Gail Simone, shut up. Just shut up. Seriously. As each day goes by with DC not saying anything, plan all you want. By the time you're done with your plan, it'll be over. The clock is ticking. You don't have much time. All right. We'll get to you a little bit. Sunny Man for $4.99. Because I watched your reviews on Picard, I decided to watch the 1966 Star Trek. And after 2 episodes, I think it's good so far. Keep up the good work. Sunny Man, enjoy original Star Trek. Came out in 1966, but that's okay. Doctor Who came out in 1963. And the quality of some of the Blu-rays and what you can see on Netflix of older Star Trek looks great. It looks great. Bird of Prey 5, $2. Kapla, Nerdrotic and all. Stay safe, everyone. You too, my friend. Hope you're doing okay. I was watching a little bit of your stream yesterday, or it was the day before yesterday. They're all bleeding into each other right now. But hail, Bird of Prey 5. Juan Soros for $2. Release the Zikri raw footage. I will. That's coming out. I have to do an Exozone tomorrow. It'll probably come out Friday morning. And it'll be on Nerdrotic Live. But I have to edit it. That was the problem. I couldn't just do it raw. Although in Poland, we still have lots of toilet paper, I'm not sure if we can keep it up with all the crap Marvel is pumping out. All the best to you and the fam, Gary. Stay safe, healthy, and awesome. Lobo Cop 69 for $50 Polish dollars. Thank you so much. You as well. And we can't get Marvel toilet paper right now. DC shut down their printer. So again, that's not something you can just ramp back up again. We need to create a bounty for photos of former Marvel employees in the unemployment line. Mark C for $5. Yes. Oh, you know what? I will. You know what? Your boy Zach from Comics Matter. I still wish it was diversity in comics, but you can't always get what you want. Did something very cool a couple days ago. And I retweeted, there are a couple of people who work in the industry right now offering to buy back unsold issues that they have written. I think that is great. We need to support that. So no matter what their politics were in the past, that is a genuine good thing to do. That's the right thing to do. If they're able to afford it, that's very generous of them to say that, and I appreciate that. Gail Simone offered, suggested people go to their local comic shop and support it. Zach bounced back with, or shot back with, why don't you offer to buy back your unsold copies? Where we got cricket. So Zach put his money where his mouth is, and he offered $1,000 to the first comic shop that contacts him and shows that they're a real comic shop and that they need it. And he gave him $1,000. That was freaking cool. Well done, Zach. Well done, Zach. And I have to check out a couple things, and I don't want to steal his thunder. I'm considering matching that or doing the same thing. I'm going to contact Zach, see if he thinks it's a good idea. I'm going to let him handle it because that was his idea. But I will offer to match that. And maybe we can give it to another shop or something, but I got to email him because I just thought of this idea before the stream and I didn't have a chance to email. Actually, I have it composed, but I didn't send it. We got to make sure it's okay with him. It was his idea. Son of the Wolf for $5. Hey, Gary, thanks for continuing to give me something to occupy my time while I'm stuck inside. You are quite welcome. This is the alternative to the entertainment. Now, that is something I would like to address as well. Our mod, Mikey Woods, put up a tweet. It's not a bad tweet. I think it's a good thing to bring up once in a while. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of movements have stemmed out of criticism and YouTube critics. So their job is to, or their hobby is they have a YouTube channel, they read a comic book and they critique it. Sometimes they like them, sometimes they don't. But coming out of that, that's what your boy Zach did. He was reviewing comics and he was noticing a certain theme throughout comics, a certain partisan theme, the theme of SJW Marvel. And that's what brought us here today. Now, the roots of SJW Marvel go way back to 2003 and maybe before, but that's when I started noticing stuff. Wasn't too bad until after I sold my shop, to be honest with you. But I saw the origins of it. I didn't think it would get this bad, to be honest with you, but it did. And a lot of people have covered this. But Mikey put out a tweet stating that Comicsgate and the Indiegogo, those guys provide an alternative, and that's what they're doing. Because, I mean, hell, that's what I don't know if Tom King say, but I'm using him as an example. The Tom Kings and the Gail Simones of the world were telling them, if you don't like our comics, make your own. So they did. And they are able, because they are professionals and they're talented, to make comics that are as good or a lot of times better than what Marvel and DC are producing in some aspects, okay? We're talking about the Also Ran, the New Warriors, the Snowflakes in the Safe Space. Every single Indiegogo comic is better than that trash, or better than Children of the Atom, by far. They can offer a viable alternative. They can crowdfund it. This does take money, but it doesn't take as much money or as much people as it would to, say, create a television show or a web series. Now, little animated shorts, yeah, I think you could do that. That's a good alternative. Maybe a little animated show. It doesn't require as many people. That requires a ton of time, but that could probably be funded responsibly, we'll say. A TV show, I have I'm sure there's a couple people out there, but I know Ian from Rebecca Gold. He does a web show that's very good. It's called Rebecca Gold. It's won awards, but that takes a ton of time, resources. He's a pro at making a web series. And while it's possible, it certainly is possible. I'm not too sure how viable it is right now, considering the economy. And if an individual YouTuber wants to do that, you go right ahead. I will support you. We should have alternate forms of entertainment, independent forms of entertainment. But the hashtag, the Fandom Menace, which is just a hashtag, isn't organized. It's not a thing that can that would, I believe, get together to crowdfund a TV show or a film. Now, again, individual YouTubers can do it all day long that use the hashtag Fandom Menace. But the reason the Fandom Menace had, or still has, huge numbers is because we weren't organized. Is because we remained a loose group of individuals united in the principle of protecting the fan. We're critics. And every time, I turn on my camera, I'm trying to offer an alternative. I'm not going to write a TV show. I'm not going to crowdfund a TV show or crowdfund anything, really. I'll support other people's projects if I like them. If they run them by me, I have no problem doing that whatsoever. And a show or a book or a comic book, just email me, let me know, let me take a look at it, and I will most certainly shout it out. But I have no plans. I have no plans to... I've actually made a comic. It's terrible and you'll never see it, but no plans to do that. But I highly encourage it. But to say we're not offering an alternative isn't entirely true. We are. This is it. Son of the Wolf, thank you for the $5. Brian F for $4.99. Just finished Expanse Season 1. Good stuff. And yes, there is still good TV out there. And I also want to state that the Fandom Menace was effective. Did it achieve its goal? Did it absolutely save Star Wars? No, but it got a $1 billion company to think about something, to listen to the fans. Now, they didn't outright come out and say it, but you can see that they course corrected. And that is a good thing. Not saying anything won't change anything, ever. You say something, you speak your mind. If they change, they change. If they don't, at least you got to speak your mind. And we will continue doing that. Now, if something becomes folly at some point, yeah, you move on. You move on. And honestly, that's what a lot of people did with comic books. They moved on. They're like, they're not going to change. Marvel and DC are not going to change. So we have to go do our own thing. Absolutely support that. And they're still not going to change. Right here at the end, they're not changing. Brian F. Just finished Expanse Season 1. Good stuff. Thoughts on Hunters? Have you watched? Episode 3 lost me a bit with implausibility and wokeness. I have not checked it out yet. I have been busy working on... I worked on a review of A Song of Ice and Fire prologue that I provided to my patrons. That'll be out someday on Nerdrotic Live. And I was watching some Doctor Who to review, and I am very happy to report, not ruined for me. I love it. I still love old Doctor Who. It's better than ever. As a matter of fact, it makes me appreciate it more. Now, I can't watch it beyond a certain point because Doctor Who was completely destroyed by Chris Chibnall and wokeness and political correctness. And I have a video that I'm doing that will come out tomorrow. Also, I am live streaming. I'm doing a Rose live stream. It's the 15th anniversary of New Who tomorrow. So I'll be live streaming for the UK, and I will be possibly discussing a watch party. I think I can pull that off. Stay tuned. Thank you, Brian F. I don't think I'm going to check it out. I've got other things to check out. I'm glad you watched The Expanse, though. It's a great, great show. It's not woke. It's what Young Ripa gave this. I heard it from him first, so I'm going to give him full credit on this. Honest diversity, honest inclusivity, which is we don't talk about it, we just do it, and story comes first. Story comes first, then we cast, and then the cast happen to be pretty diverse. And we don't make a big deal out of it. We just present our show, and we let our show speak for us. We let the story speak for us. And that's what The Expanse does. The Expanse is everything Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard wish they were. Hail The Expanse. Alpha Prime. The Orville, too. The Orville is another show. It's diverse. It gets into a lot of themes. And it deals with a lot of stuff through allegory, especially through the Mocklins. Guess what? Very enjoyable show. It doesn't preach at you. It doesn't hit you over the head with anything. And I know, believe me, I know what their politics are, but they at least try to be fair and try to sell their show to everyone, which is all we're asking for. Sister Boy, aka Ladyboy, new name. Alpha Prime for £2. Yeah, that's Romulegalos. I'm forgetting his name now. I'm forgetting the name. I called him Romulegalos for so long. Eleanor, whatever his name is. Yeah, he was referred to as Sister Boy in his first episode by one of the Romulans. They're all, come here, Sister Boy. And that's they probably, you want an example of how woke destroys storytelling. I promise you, the term Sister Boy was thought up before they wrote that episode. And they just wanted to put that in. So they found a way, they made a scenario. And that's the difference between storytelling and woke storytelling. Woke storytelling has scenarios. We develop scenarios so we can insert Sister Boy or have somebody yell at Picard or somebody say sheer fucking hubris. That's what comes to their mind first instead of the spark of an idea that you think sounds cool and you want to share it with the world. No, you want to say Sister Boy. Mr. Body Massage, machine for $10. You were right about Picard. I was open after the first episode, but it turns out you were correct. Lots of dead ends. In my mind, Picard is non-canon. Mr. Body Massage, thank you. And it's okay. I totally understand where you were coming from. Thank you for the £10. I don't judge anybody for being open-minded about Picard. I'm glad you were. You need to be. You absolutely need to be before any show, even if it has the name Kurtzman on it. But now you know that chances are 99.9% to 99.9% accuracy that it will suck if it's got Kurtzman's name on it. And a lot of people didn't watch Star Trek Discovery, and they didn't realize that all of these theories that people had, all of these plot points, I call them plot bombs because they just explode and they, cause destruction to their story and they go absolutely nowhere. Kurtzman Trek and storytelling is filled with them. It is so hard. It's funny, but it's also very difficult to review these episodes because every turn there is a plot hole or there's something stupid. And I mean, it's a singularity of suck. Rama for 100 Indian dollars. YouTuber Heels versus Babyface got blocked by Tom King for merely responding to his tweet with nothing but a pic of a safe space and snowflake. Such confidence. That's Tom King. Not exactly the manliest man in the world, and thank God he doesn't work for the CIA anymore. Truly. I am grateful for that. You want to be grateful for stuff. I'm grateful for that. Sorry, the sun's reflecting on me. Yeah, I watch every one of Heels versus Babyface's videos, as is an amazing YouTuber and a good guy, and a new friend. I made a new friend. Isn't that nice? Making friends on the internet. Captain Spire for $2. Box in transit. Coffee incoming. Not watching STP. Brilliant, great, and brilliant. Thank you, Captain Spire. I really appreciate you. Thank you. We are running a little low on coffee, but it's okay. I'm a little nervous right now. Mrs. Nerdrotic is at the store, and I'm like, is that necessary right now? I don't know if there's lines yet. I think they're letting people in slowly or something like that, which is probably a smart move. Concerning that stuff that I don't really talk about, I just want to echo that I want you all to be safe. I want you all to be happy. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. And there will be school again later in the year. I totally bummed out my kid by telling him that. I'm like, there will be school. It looks like he's off for the rest of the year, so he's on summer vacation, although he's taking classes. He's in a Google Classroom right now. So he is learning, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, and we will get by. This isn't nuclear fallout. This isn't an asteroid. This isn't a 8.9 earthquake. This isn't Yellowstone blowing off this or a super volcano. We will get by. It's serious. It is. Okay. But we will get by. Angry Toy Box. What is the nickname for a single woman's genitals? Hail Gary and chat. Bjorn. Oh, Bjorn. Bjorn for 50 Danish krona. Makini 90. That's terrible. That's terrible. Mrs. Nerdrotic probably, well, she'd probably laugh about it. As a matter of fact, I know she'd laugh at that. Makini 90, we're just kidding, okay? We're just kidding. We're having a good time here. Makini 90 for $5. First work day in a week and working while listening to you. Much love from downtown. Makini 90, hail. I'm glad you're working. Be safe. It's good to see you here. I know it's been a while. Makini 90 has been around for a while, long time. Terry Presley for $15. Hey man, been enjoying your channel. Thanks for being angry with us. Get some coffee on me. I appreciate that. That will buy a lot of coffees, And I want to say, because I know they're out there, the kids who work at Pete's that's currently closed, I miss you guys a lot. And I promise you, I've got a little surprise for you when you all come back to work. I've got a gift for you, for the wonderful baristas who always have my coffee nice and hot and strong. And everybody knows your name there. It's like Cheers, except with coffee. They're good kids. And you know what? Your manager should be proud. You have a great crew. And I love going there. So like one of my favorite places to go. Yes, it's like a chain coffee store, but it's got a good group of kids there. The Talons of Wang Chang. Uh-oh. You might be, your episode might be canceled for £5. Would have been Patrick Troughton's, oh my God, 100th birthday today. All hail the second Doctor. Been watching The Faceless Ones this week. Great story. Absolutely. Watch a second Doctor episode today. Happy birthday, Patrick Troughton. You are missed. And a Doctor that, it grew on me. I'll admit, the black and white episodes were tough for me at first to get into, but man, they're good. Once I got past the black and white TV biased, I watched them and, they're good. They're good. And there's a reason this thing lasted for over 5 decades, and it's all writing. The production values were crap. It forced them to be creative on the lowest of budgets, and that is part of the charm of Doctor Who. But what made it good was writing and acting. Cracklin, what's up, Cracklin? Again, thank you, Cracklin. It was great talking to you on the member stream, by the way. The destruction of those social beacons, which inspired greatness within us all, only lead our society to stinky poo-poo butts. Abraham Lincoln. Oh, that was funny. That was good. I like that one. John Ortiz, thank you for the $2. All right. I'll get back to that. Let's check in with DC Comics, everyone. Let's see if we have a statement from Jim Lee. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. It cracked me up when Peter Samedi tweeted out, is Jim Lee okay? Has anybody seen Jim Lee? All right. Wow. Folks, he has not tweeted. Is he, I mean, sincerely, is he okay? Jim Lee, okay. I mean, we need to find out if, I don't know. I'm getting kind of worried now, genuinely. March 14th was his March 15th was his last tweet. March 15th. We can go to Tom. We can't go to Tom King. Yeah. So, I mean, I admit, okay, I'll freely admit that, Az got blocked by Tom King, and Az just shot him a picture of Snowflake in safe space. I was a little more salty. All right. So I understand. I just retweeted Tom King when he said, I'm reminded of the worst time. For one, he was trying to minimize the situation. He said, I'm reminded of the time of the 50s when the comic book code came in and it almost killed comic books. And it did. And we've always bounced back with creativity. There's never been a time like this. This is unprecedented. And comics were extremely healthy when the government did that. And they rebounded. The sales went back up quite a bit. Comics used to regularly sell in the millions. Now, that was when stuff was returnable and they were in every supermarket and 7-Eleven and corner store and gas station. And Marvel, I don't know if you know this, Marvel and DC used to sell the strip covers to corner shops and supermarkets. And when I would go to South Dakota in the summer, because I was a bit of an angry youth. And my parents had a hard time with me, so they would send me to South Dakota in the summer to work on a farm. That's where I learned how to drink. But there was a little drugstore, convenience store there that sold rolls of stripped covered Marvel comics for 50 cents. So for 50 cents, I would get a roll of 5 comics. And yes, he rolled them up and put a rubber band around them and put them right next to the newspapers. And I bought them all. I did my little work on the farm and I got my couple bucks and I read those comics cover to cover. Of course, there was no cover on them, but yeah, so they used to sell the strip covers out and this is what we're going to have to return to. And the comic shops are going to have to deal with that. I know a lot of comic shops are against comics being available in Walmart and in 7-Elevens. They got to give that up. Like I said yesterday, those are comic book fan makers, not comic book fan takers. Somebody gets into a comic book, they buy it at a 7-Eleven, they get into it, and then they want the next issue, but they realize 7-Eleven doesn't really get them in order, so they look for their local comic book shop. As a matter of fact, I worked with the 7-Eleven owner who was down the street from me, and when he started ordering comics, I started supplying him with comics. I instead of him opening up a diamond account, I can say this now, I just sold him comics so he could have them at his store so he could help make comic book fans. And it brought me a couple customers. It's that innovation that, and that part of it falls on the comic shop owner. Okay. Again, I used to drive around when I got my comic shop, I wanted to get a noticeable car. So I got the ugliest car I could find, which was the Honda Element. And it was the tomato colored one. And I had some magnets made that said Comic Outpost. And I slapped those magnets on the side of my Element. And it was the Outpost mobile. And I would drive around San Francisco. I always drove around San Francisco picking up kids to school and, doing salon runs and stuff. And that was the best advertisement I could do. What else did I do? Guerrilla advertising. Every time a superhero movie aired, I would take books out of my $1 and quarter bin, throw my business card in those books. And while people were waiting in line to go see X-Men or Spider-Man or Hellboy, me and my employees would run around the theater or in lines without asking permission and start giving people free comic books to read while they're in line. I got a ton of customers from that. And I got to write that all off as promotion. And I got to write those books off at cost, not at the $1 I was offering them, by the way. It's stuff like that. It's not hard. But Tom King's blocked me, so, you know, I can't offer any suggestions to any writers or anything. Just because I said, I remember when Batman's balls were attached. Okay, that was a little mean. It was a little mean. I probably deserved that. But, you know, I think I'm blocked by Dan Slott because, I don't think he even comes up. He doesn't even come up. Because of Doctor Who. Oh, there he is. Hey, look at that. There's Heels versus Babyface. Yes, he's blocked by Dan Slott as well. See? Why is Az blocked by Dan Slott? Man, you can really tell that guy's a comic book writer, can you? Look at that comic book writer's Twitter account. I don't think I'm blocked by Gail Simone. Nope. That's good. There won't be a Marvel and DC crossover anytime soon. These companies are too busy thinking about their livelihood right now. Oh my God, I can't even stomach this. Ugh. Oh my God. Can I go to somebody's Twitter that I like? Can we go back to Az? There. I don't like you either. But yeah, she's suggesting a Marvel and DC crossover now. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. Thank you, Cracklin. Thank you, John Ortiz, for the $2. Lady Gravemaster for $2. Beard sponsor suggestion, The Beard Struggle. All right. I'll check that out. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Danny Chadwick for $5. Your long beard looks great. Why, thank you. Thank you. But I can't help but wonder how handsome you'd be if you cut it down to Commander Riker style. Set beard to stunning. You can look at some of my older YouTube videos and you can see me, I'm a beardless boy. Here, hang on. Nerdrotic. So when I hit 1,000 subscribers, it was December of...
Hey everyone,
of 2017. December 31st, 2017, I hit 1,000 subscribers. And I was so excited. And I worked right down the street from YouTube that I did a video. And yeah, so here's me without my beard. Not a pretty sight. There you go. Let me get you a better picture of that. That's me standing in front of YouTube. December 31st. Look at somebody disliked it. I wasn't even in the culture war back then. I was just reviewing television. As a matter of fact, this video was all, I'm surprised I got to 1,000 subscribers because I do everything wrong. I do live streams. I don't do any videos. I think I called them viral videos. Oh my God, freaking boomer. Yeah. There it is. Scruffy face. See, it's just better with the beard. Trust me. Trust me. You're going to hear the dogs in the background. Mrs. Nerdrotic is back. You're going to hear the dog rotics. Thank you, Danny. Keith Markwick for £5. I'm watching your show every day and wanted to contribute. Keep it real, sir. Thank you. And that's the key. Okay, that's the key, is entertainment and keeping it real. And that's how we provide an alternative to Hollywood. Like, listen, they're already noticing now how powerful of a tool YouTube is. So powerful, YouTube doesn't even realize it. And you're starting to see celebrities come onto this platform. And then there's that Quibi thing. Have you not heard of Quibi? I heard of it through Robert Meyer Burnett. I didn't see the Super Bowl commercial, but Quibi is going to be a platform that offers produced 10-minute videos. It's going to be Punk'd is going to come back, and they're going to do like little 10-minute TV shows with movie stars, and they're selling it as the alternative to YouTube. If you want professional entertainment, we offer you a professional alternative. People don't want that. People want to connect with each other. Interactivity, that is the key. That is something Hollywood cannot provide. Guess what? I don't think it's going out on a limb by saying that movies, scripted television is 20th century entertainment. Like radio, 20th century entertainment. And video games, interactive, 21st century entertainment. YouTube, interactive, making videos, all this. My kid is not going to watch Quibi. No adult is going to. Oh, by the way, you got to pay for it too. YouTube being free for the most part helps a lot. And they're going to love YouTube because it's going to be one of the only places where people will accept ads, or there's ways to work around it too. And if you need to do that, do it. Keith Barkwick. I'm not going to say, turn off that pesky ad blocker. Ugh. Sorry. Bryce Brierly for $10. I do appreciate you allowing me to finish, but damn, lock was broken. What? The lock was broken. What is that reference to, Bryce? I do appreciate you allowing me to finish, but damn, the lock is broken. Hang on. I don't know what. Hang on. I don't catch everything. Just tell me in the chat, Bryce. I have no idea, but it might have been in reference to something I was saying earlier, and I apologize. Some nobody for $2. Use a separate laptop iPad for live comms safer. Yeah, it might be, but the picture won't be as good. Maybe if I do, maybe for my Patreon stuff, but no, I have to do it on a desktop because my internet sucks. Although I'm in San Francisco, near Silicon Valley, my internet sucks. Oh, right on. CJ is a member at the Jaloja level. Jaloja, thank you very much. And welcome. Welcome to Nerdrotic. Lobocop 69 for 100 Polish pesos. If you ever consider having a comic book shop again, which I will, I recommend some kind of bathroom passes. Oh, that's what you were talking about. Bryce, I got you. I do appreciate you allowing me to finish, but damn, the lock was broken. I get it. I'm a dumbass. Thank you. That's funny. That's funny. All right. I'm with you now. Lobocop. So I'll read this and I'll tell you about the next comic shop. Lobocop 69 for 100 Polish pesos. If you ever consider having a comic book shop again, I recommend some kind of bathroom passes. You could name them P cards, badumtis, no laughs, or he's all bump, no laughs, anybody. Okay, I'll let myself out. Yes, I will. You know what? I will do that. You can have a bathroom pass and it will be a P card and it will have Picard on it, and I will name it after Lobocop 69. That's great. Well played, sir. Well played. Now, depending on how things go, because I was going to move. That was definitely in the plans. I was going to move from San Francisco in a year, and possible destinations were Montana, Wisconsin, most likely New Mexico, Tejas, or San Diego. But we were going to move out of San Francisco. Unfortunately, the economy was shut down recently, which doesn't help home values or anything or rents. So staying put is in the cards for the time being. But I might be able to get cheaper rent here. So yes, I'm going to open up an online store and another store. I will not be selling new Marvel and DC comics. I will probably sell Alterna because I want to support Peter Simeti, but I'm more going to be a vintage comic store, a vintage toy store. It's not going to be about new comics. I'll have a little rack And again, it'll be Alterna. And if anybody from the Indiegogo sphere wants to sell books in the shop, contact me. We'll work out a very fair deal. I would be more than happy to support them in the shop. And that's a place where you people will be able to come and do signings. You'll be more than welcome at my shop. It is San Francisco, so, but you'll be, I don't think you might be surprised how many fans you have over here. Quite a bit. We're not all nuts. Rebecca Gold for 10, that's who I was talking about earlier. Rebecca Gold for 10 pounds. When I was a kid, there was a comic shop, Forbidden Planet. Oh, I've been to, was it in London? Because I went to the one in London. The guys that ran the shop knew my name and would set aside issues for me. God, I miss those days. Forbidden Planet, I was there in 2004 in London. Great shop. They were the inspiration for my Doctor Who section. They had a door frame that was a TARDIS, and it was right next to a restaurant that sold the best damn fries in the world. And it was like, that's pretty much all I ate there because your food sucks. Sorry. And what a great shop. And they had this kid there who was completely enamored with Mrs. Nerdrotic. So he was following her around and helping her with her every need. And it was great. He was really nice. Great shop. Nothing bad to say about Forbidden Planet. And I hope they survive this. We need Forbidden Planet. Meow Lat Hotep for $5. Tom Baker will always be my doctor. Love your show. Keep up the good work. Please tell me how to pronounce that. Is it like Bubba Hotep, but Meow Hotep? Meow Hotep. Gotcha. Okay. Rob's for $2.99 Australian. Your Game of Thrones prologue was awesome. Oh, you liked it. Excited for the rest. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. I wasn't sure. It's gonna be a video eventually. You got the audio portion of it. Yes, my plan is to review Game of Thrones chapter, Song of Ice and Fire chapters, and Doctor Who. You guys a bunch of people have requested more reviews. They're coming. This week, I'm going to be working on Star Trek Picard, though. That's going to take a lot of my time because I'm doing the whole season and I'm breaking that thing down. I've got the razors out. Cutting it like a line of cocaine. And it jumped on me. I apologize. Paul Wilkinson for $4.99. He's just wants to say hi. Hello, Paul. Welcome. And I see you, Mark C. I'll get to you in just a second. Dragon Volder X for $2. Take this, please. Never do that voice again. What voice? The Alex Kurtzman voice? My name is Alex Kurtzman. I write for Star Trek. And I just want to say that I want you to be a better human because humans can be better. And I learned that from my therapist. I don't know what that actually means. He also taught me the word empathy, and I put it in Star Trek Discovery season 2. But I don't know what it means. I really don't to this day. I'd rather sit in my bathtub and watch plaster dry, says Mr. Snickers for $3.99, than watch Star Trek Picard for free. Exactly. I would too. Why would you say that? That's not very human of you. What's a human? Nerdrotic, if DC and Marvel are sold off to tech company like Apple, do you think that they will correct all of the SJW wokeness? No. LaCane, 1906 for thank you for the $5. I would love it. Apple's worse. Far worse. Believe it or not. I mean, did you see what was on Apple TV Plus? And I like Ronald Moore. C-Space 36 for £4.99. TNG fan watched Doctor Who Star Wars be destroyed. Hoped Picard would rescue us from Discovery, but they betrayed Gene and TNG supporting hashtag fake Trek movement. Yes, hashtag fake Trek. It's not real. It's not canon. So it can't really destroy anything. Thank you again, C-Space 36. Mark C, the great Mark C for $5. Gail said in a tweet, the majority of comic book fans are cis white men. We could afford lose CDC a few of them. We can afford to lose CDC a few of them. Can you now? Did she say that recently, Mark? I mean, it doesn't matter when she said it. She should have never said that. And I don't care if she said it in 2008. And it's not surprising at all. And I absolutely believe she said that. And I think if you do any type of homework going down her Twitter, just look for crappy fans or bad fans or search cis white Twitter Gail Simone. You'll see some lovely tweets from an unhappy person. An unhappy person. I won't say nasty. Usually that stems from insecurity. I mean, no adult comfortable in their own skin would treat people like that, would talk like that. I would never say that about somebody, ever. I mean, I can't afford to lose anybody on this channel. I couldn't afford to lose anybody at my shop. I mean, does it happen? Yeah, but I don't like it. Birdie Eve for $5. Just some cash towards Gary's home gym. I'm going to need it. No, thanks. I'm on my walks. Thank you, though. Soon to become the hottest spot on the San Fran gay scene. Thanks for the fun while I'm at work as a key worker. I'm glad you're at work as a key worker. Be safe. We appreciate you keeping the world going around. And yes, my new gym will be it'll be just fabulous. Yeah, right. Yeah. I think, I could we could have it in my garage. It's pretty tight in there, but I don't think the boys will mind. Diversity in Comics Bear for $4.99. Use a laptop or mobile device for things you don't want people to see. You don't want to burn a source. No, I don't. And you're right. You were talking about almost sharing my screen. You are correct. I have another computer right here, but it's updating right now. But you're right. Robert Flores for $2. Gary, what do you think of Ralph Bakshi's films? What do I think of Ralph Bakshi's films? Let me take a look. The World of Ralph Bakshi. I'm like, I have never heard of this, but I think I've seen it before. Oh, okay, yes. Wizards. He did Wizards. Yes, I love him. I'm more of he did the the rotoscope stuff. I own Wizards, so I like him. I think Heavy Metal's my favorite. That's not him, but I like and I love the Lord of the Rings animated. I like The Hobbit. The Hobbit creeped me out as a kid. But Fire and Ice, was that him too? Did he do Fire and Ice as well? Let's see. But somebody asked me how I like these movies in order. I would say, he did the Lord of the Rings thing. Yeah, I didn't know his name off the top of my head. Sorry. I don't know everything. I never said I was an expert. Did he do Fire and Ice too? I thought he did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just a rip-off of... Let's see, director. Fritz the Cat, I've seen. Yes, I did like Fritz the Cat. I don't think I'd like it right now, but the last time I saw Fritz the Cat, I was really stoned, and it was in the 80s. So I liked it a lot. I love them. I absolutely love them. I own a bunch of them. Oh, I just lost my window. Hang on. Okay. Thank you, Robert Flores. Yes, of course, Lord of the Rings is my favorite, but then Wizards is next. I could have sworn he was on Fire and Ice. Guess not. And Fritz the Cat, again, it's good when you're stoned and you're 18. Not real. I don't know if I'd like it right now. Just realized effing you Admiral in Picard is Anne Magnuson from Bongwater. Very strange. Did you used to own a comic book store? Yes, I did, John Thomas. I did. True story. Hobo Rocks for thank you for the $4.99. I didn't see Bongwater. Ann Magnuson from Bongwater. I'm a new subscriber. Love the channel. Binge the Orville after you said it was better than Star Trek. You were right. I loved it. Thanks and stay safe. It's better than current Star Trek. Absolutely. And thank you. And I appreciate it. And Seth appreciates it. And so does Tom Constantino. And enjoy it. It's a great alternative to modern Trek. It's much better. I mean, it's not even in the same class. Star Trek Discovery and Picard are trash compared to the Orville. And I would put the Orville up against some of the lower tier Star Trek episodes of like Voyager and Enterprise. And Identity Part 1 and 2 is as good as any Star Trek episode, in my opinion, of the Berman era, Roddenberry and Berman era. Now, original series to me is the best, the creme de la creme. I am an original series fan. That's what I watch the most of. That's what I repeat watch. I am a huge Dr. McCoy fan. Dr. McCoy is my favorite. Paul Wilkinson for $4.99. Just saying hi. Dash Fat Bastard for $5. Love you, man. I'm an OG Marvel Star Trek fan, but I do love Star Trek Picard. Why you work so hard to kill it and put viewers off it? Why you killing other people's fun? It's subjectively wrong. No. I mean, subjectively wrong to you, sure. But I am not killing the show. I am just strictly being honest about my opinion of the show, which any other critic or you can do. Dash, you can start a channel today and tell people how much you love the show. I highly encourage that. And maybe you can help make fans, but I don't keep people from watching. I don't. People probably were on the fence after watching Star Trek Discovery, and maybe they came to me to see if they wanted to spend their money behind the paywall. But you know what would give it more viewers, Dash? And thank you for the $5. Not being behind a paywall or not having to give up credit card information to watch it, because that is paying for something, because they're going to mine your data and sell it while calling it free. It's not free. It's clickbait. It's clickbait. No, and I didn't do that to Doctor Who either. I just gave my honest opinion on a TV show that aired publicly on a publicly paid for broadcasting by a publicly paid for broadcasting corporation that launders money. Well, it doesn't launder. I'm sorry. That steals money from the British public. Extorts. That's the word I was looking for. Fizzenthorpe for $10. Gary, what do you think of the entertainment industry? What do you think the entertainment industry will do if the 2020 election goes the same way as the 2016 election? I can't imagine them getting any worse than the last 4 years. How much more can they lash out? They're going to keep lashing out. That's not going to die down. It's how much are we going to put up with it? How much is the normie going to put up with it? That's the question. I think it's clear what we're seeing right now. Prior to the thing that shall not be named, people were outright rejecting it. Dark Fate, Charlie's Angels, Westworld is the latest example. Star Trek Picard, Doctor Who. It's being rejected again and again and again and again and again. And that is going to force them to change in Hollywood. The BBC, it's probably going to take the license fee being pulled and new management. The only comics worth buying, but yeah, that's what I think. I think it's just going to be more of the same screeching. We're just going to be tired of it, especially now. I think this will curtail a lot of that screeching because it's giving us all perspective. As I probably lost my point earlier, but I circle back around to it. Arguing over how many genders there are isn't really important right now. We're worried about our kids. We're worried about our grandma, our grandpa, if they're alive out there. You're worried about your parents, worried about eating. Yeah. So I'm trying to give you light entertainment, and let's just mock stupid people, which is Hollywood and the BBC. It's pretty easy. The only comics worth buying are old comics. DC disappoints me because overall they are a bit less woke than Marvel. I will agree with that. Yet clueless to the audience. Name an old comic that I should get that I might not have. Oh, CJ, an old comic that you should get that you might not have. That's a favorite of mine. Do you have any John Byrne She-Hulk or John Byrne Fantastic Four. I would buy those. Those are cheap. They're affordable. You can get them in essential format or masterwork format. What's the trade paperback that's the essential, but it's in color? I forgot what it's called. I would get that. That's a go-to. John Byrne Fantastic Four is what if you're just a superhero fan, that's what I recommend all the time. And now it depends on what your idea of an older comic is. Now, CJ, I don't know how old you are, but an older comic might be Marvel's. So like this, hang on. You probably have this if you're a comic fan, but if you're not and you want to like break into something, this is a massively huge version of Marvel's. This is a great comic. And this is a starter. It's basically a starter kit if you want to get into comics. It gives you the history of the Marvel Universe before it got completely effing destroyed. Let's see. Do I have any comics under this? Maybe I can pull some comics out. Hang on. Let's do an experiment. If I have some comics in here. I'm not sure. I have comic boxes right below me. I like these. I don't know if there's comics or if it's storage. Oh, look what I got here. Hang on. Jawbreakers. Oh, look what else I got here. I got my Frog book. I wonder if I have any... those are my kids' comics. Rando stuff. What's this? These are good. Old Doctor Who. Yeah, I have, this is like my rando box right now. And what else do we have? There's my, oh. You can get that. If you don't have that, get this trade paperback, Seed of Destruction. It's some of the best storytelling ever. Oh, this is from my era. I don't know. This is a weird one. This is one of the comics I sold like right towards the end. Avenging Spider-Man. This is right before it got like ridiculously woke and stupid. Again, this is just a random box. I don't know why. I mean, it's got my kids' Pokemon stuff in here, so I still need to organize that one. I don't know what's in the other box. But yeah, get some Hellboy. Or Fantastic Four. But I love Hellboy. Okay. IT Ninja for $2. Have you checked out Dust Sci-Fi Channel on YouTube? No. What do they do? What do they do? I mean, I love it when people suggest channels, but like kind of give me an idea of what they are. And I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Dust Sci-Fi Channel on YouTube. Do they do like a web series or something? Again, I want to plug Rebecca Gold, the great Ian out there. Check out the show. It's cool. It's really well done. And that's somebody who's trying to make an alternative, doing it on his own. And he's thinking about doing a Doctor Who fan film to kind of undo or at least cleanse the palate of this crap. And, you know, once things settle down, if we can help get that going, I will do my part. Do Life for $5. If you want to have a laugh today, check out Bounding's new Warriors vid. I'm not biased. I will check it out. I need to, I don't know. Do I need to do another comic book video? I think I'm due. It's been a couple days since I did a video. And I've got Doctor Who one in the works. But the comic book news keeps coming. And I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed about Doctor Who. And I'm still pissed about the comic thing. And it's just, listen, it's empathy. That thing Hollywood doesn't know. I know that feeling in your gut. Like, I lost my store. Well, I sold my store, but it was crashing and burning. So I decided to close it before it started losing money. I saw the writing on the wall. Plus, I was going through my personal stuff. I had fallen off the wagon a few years ago. So I decided to close, and then Brian offered to buy it. So there. I was going to take all the stock home and open up another day. Now, I still have my own personal collection. And that's how I was going to open up a pop-up shop. I don't know if that's legal because I know that San Francisco put on the ballot that they were going to make those illegal. I need to move. But that's the plan anyway. But yeah. I rewatched The Expanse in 4K. Oh my God, makes season 4 way better. Aaron Friedman for $1.99. I haven't seen it in 4K. Well, yeah, I did. The episode I saw at New York Comic Con with John F. Trent, I saw in 4K, and it was beautiful. You're right. The special effects were so much better. Why is Gail Simone stealing EVA's, or probably EVS's, or EVA's commenting that over the last 2 weeks of Marvel and DC, EVA's commenting that over the last 2 weeks of Marvel and DC in doing a crossover, maybe pitching her people's comments in the way is the way to success. Oh, Alan, believe me, she's watching all of this stuff, guys and gals. She's watching all of EVS's live streams and John Malin's and Just Some Guys. She's watching all that stuff. They all do. Mark Wade's watching. Dan Slott's watching. They're watching. And, well, what else do they got to do? It's not like they're going to write a comic book or anything. And you could only bitch about the Orange Man so much time. I mean, 23 hours of bitching about the Orange Man. They got that extra hour to kill and watch people that they should probably listen to instead of just hate. And yeah, they're probably trying to learn how they can build a platform so they can go out and sell a book. It's called personality. You need a personality. And Gail, sorry, you just don't have it, kiddo. Duppy Ryder for $10. Patrick Stewart is likely more to blame than we think for Downer Trek. He had a cable series called Blunt Talk. Oh, I remember. He did it with Seth. He was a drunken, childish pervert on that show, and he seemed to love it. Oh, yes, he did. And he is responsible for this. Sir Patrick Stewart is responsible for Fake Trek. Read that Variety article, or better yet, watch my video. It says Enrage on it. I did a video covering it, and yeah, he comes out and says for one, they don't even woke right. The allegories are lost within the plot holes. So other than every woman is in charge, but every woman's an asshole. And your immigration allegory. Okay, which one am I supposed to pay attention to? The Romulans, the Synths, or the Borg? Which one? Or is it all three of them? It's like they put all of their bad ideas in a blender and used them all. And, watching Michael Chabon do his interviews, I mean, folks, Michael Chabon did not used to talk like that. I've talked to Michael Chabon in person a couple of times. He used to talk like a normal human being, but now he talks like a hate street stoner, man. He's, I'm going to read children's stories, man. You want to read it, man? Yeah, man. It's like, dude, he is on the most synthetic laced freaking weed. I don't even know what you're putting in your weed nowadays. I know it's legal, but it's nowhere. It's like way more powerful, and it's nothing like the Mexican weed that we used to get out of Tijuana with little sandburrs in it and stuff. But yeah, it still did the job. Nothing against Mexico, but and it made Mexican food even better. Hail Gary, though it's been 30 years since I owned a comic shop, I feel terrible to our brother and sister shop owners. Thank you for having their backs, sir. LLL. Yes, clobbering times. Good to see you. It never goes away. You're always a comic shop owner. It's been 30 years. Wow. No, it's in my blood. It's honestly, I mean, I don't want to go back to auto parts or anything. And I don't know if this is going to last forever. I'm enjoying it one day at a time. But the whole plan was to have this as part of my comic shop. And wouldn't it be great to have a comic shop and a channel? And then we can, listen, I won't bore you with, here are my top 10 comics for the week. No, I'm not going to do that stuff. It'll be the same stuff I'm doing now. Maybe I'll just have a studio there or whatever. I don't know. I think it'll be fun. And then we could do live shows with a live audience. With an audience. How cool would that? I can't wait for us to gather again. I think I'm going to do a meetup once this is over somewhere. I need to talk to people. John Zeller for $20. Hey, Gary, have you ever seen Star Trek Continues? Yes, with Vic Mignogna. It's a continuation of the original series with all the same characters. I think it's better than the Trek crap out now. On YouTube, check it out. No, John, I've seen it. I can't recommend it enough. And that is a prime example of people who went out and did make a show that was, you can't say equal to TNG, but it had more heart. It had more soul. It also had great props. The acting is great. They are enjoyable. I see them as canon. James Doohan's son's in it as Scotty. I mean, it's freaking cool as hell. So yeah, and it's better than the other crowdfunded one, in my opinion. Well, it's complete. You got a whole story there. And the other one, well, hey, if you like it, that's fine. I have no judgment, but the guy doing it all of a sudden doesn't like me for some reason. So I'm not going to support it. I mean, it can exist. I'm not against it, but I'm not going to support it. In these troubled times, we all have a deep appreciation of the wise words of the great Cornholio. Sir, for the silliness, in weird mood today. Cornholio, I need teepee for my bunghole. I have a Cornholio action figure around here somewhere. I need to find it. Rama for 100 Indian pesos. Just found out the new Warrior writer wrote Santa's husband, and Marvel hired him. These pros are nothing but bad self-insert fast fan fiction writers. Yes, that's all Marvel can afford. They're hiring these, I don't want to say degenerate. I want to say nihilist, postmodern fanfic writers who hate everything that Marvel was built on. The hero's journey. I mean, just absolutely everything about it. Cis white males, or Chad heroes, as they call them. Chad heroes. So the people who work there are, I mean, they come out against, they probably secretly hate Stan Lee or not so secretly. And it's despicable. And they don't give a crap about the comic shops. They took the comic shops for granted, and they honestly probably feel like they don't need them. There is a narrative out there that it's not the comic shops that make us all our money. It's the graphic novels sold through Scholastic and Barnes and Noble. That's a bunch of crap. Without comic shops, the thing falls apart. They're the foundation, and it can have a ripple effect through every aspect of the industry. Even independent books, because once the habitual nature is broken, that spell is gone, and that's what props up the comic book industry. I would say if Indiegogo, if those campaigns were a little older and they have been around and a little more established, then they would have more inroads, but they will be affected. How much? I don't know. I don't want anybody to be affected. I don't want shops to be affected. But if you seriously tell me that getting rid of the weekly habitual comic book buyer isn't going to harm the industry throughout, you're crazy. You don't understand the industry. The foundation of it is still Batman, Spider-Man, superhero books, and everything else is like a pilot fish following that big fish around. You get rid of that, it's gone. Comics will always be around. There'll always be web comics. There'll be independent campaigns that are very successful and good for them. But we need more independent campaigns. We need more successful independent campaigns so they can be serious competition. And now you're probably, that's going to come from comic book pros. Now, we've already seen what Ron Mars can do. He can crowdfund a comic and take 2 years to come out with it, and I don't think it's out yet. Gail Simone will probably be able to crowdfund a comic based on her Twitter followers, but who knows if she'll be able to. I mean, she couldn't come out with a book when she had an editor and people over her. If she's on her own, I mean, she might as well make Twitter the comic. Oh my God, I probably just gave her an idea. What Second Doctor episode? Who's the Second Doctor? Watch a Second Doctor episode? Who's the Second Doctor? Well, right, Mark C. There's no Second Doctor. It doesn't exist anymore. You're right. Because it's the 5,628th Doctor. Nano Reaper for $2. They don't have ideas. They just steal others. No, they don't. They're repurposers. They're repurposing thieves. And that goes to the Gail Simones and the Alex Kurtzmans. And you know what? Gail Simone was an okay writer. Her Birds of Prey book, was okay. She did some passable books. Nothing memorable at all. Not anything where you can go, my God, that's a classic book. No, she did okay. She was a competent writer who through, this stems from insecurity. Sometimes it's narcissism by proxy. It's when you either live alone too much or you're with somebody who doesn't really have your back, and you start thinking just every one of your ideas sounds great, and you don't have somebody to bounce off. And it's honest. I can't imagine. I'm guessing she wears the pants in her family. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And she has a lot of bad ideas in public. Not very unprofessional, we'll say. Mike Henley for $11. The comics have withstood many adversities from the outside. This is destruction from within the industry. Michael Henley. Well said. Well said. It was outside factors. They're going to blame the thing that shall not be named. No. A healthy industry can survive it for a couple months. Now, this is not going to go a couple months. This is going to go 4 months minimum. Say the lockdown lasts just a month and a half. It's going to take 2 months to get things going. This will not pick up. Saruan of House Roundhead for $5. How do you feel about D&D's cameo in Westworld? Did you watch my review, Saruan of House Roundhead? It's in my review that I did with Doomcock. That's on Nerdrotic Live. It pissed me off. I know they were trying to be tongue-in-cheek, but it had nothing to do with Season 8's disaster. I know people were trying to spin that they were trying to make light of it. No, that was filmed years ago, like a year and a half ago, well before the end of Game of Thrones Season 8. So when that was filmed, they thought they were the shit. They were like, oh my God, we're gods. We got $250 million from Netflix. No, I thought it was shit. And really, it's dumb. It was a dumb on-the-nose thing. It was a fan theory that they put into Westworld. Westworld was supposed to be cutting-edge TV. It was supposed to be the best of the best. One of the best first series of TV, series one of TV ever. And now it's just basic bitch. And the last episode was better despite that cameo, but I wasn't happy with it. I gave the TV the finger when I saw them. They are the nail in the coffin for Westworld. Yep. Oh, you want to go check out those Westworld ratings? Let's take a look. They aren't good. Here we go. There you go. So their first episode was down 56.16% from the premiere episode of season 2. 900,000 overnight viewers. That is after a 2-year wait, and supposedly, according to some in the Access media, season 2 was better than season 1. It really put the real stars in charge, who were Maeve and Dolores. The real stars. We have a show called Westworld, which, if you just see the title, makes you think of cowboys. And if you hear the synopsis, you think of cowboy robots in the future. And then it turns out to be about a madam and a girl. It's called a bait and switch. Now, these characters were likable, believable characters. Tandy Newton is a great actress, and she would have made a better Doctor than Jodie Whittaker for sure. So she helps sell the charm of her role, but she's still a Mary effing Sue. Now in season 2, she can control the minds of the robots. She was essentially a god. They depowered her in this episode, but she still was able to hack a system and break herself out of a mainframe, or she basically was a USB drive, and she got herself into a body somehow. Overnight ratings were 778,000. Captive audience, no excuses. They made the excuse that the debate was on the same time last week. Well, you can't make that excuse 2 weeks in a row. The 18 to 49 demos, better than Doctor Who. Doctor Who's was at 0.12, by the way. But it's still bad, and it's down 20%. It's over for the show. There's no way they're going to pick this thing up for five seasons. As a matter of fact, these are right around the Watchmen ratings, which were so great they canceled the show. Oh, I don't want to look at Gail Simone anymore. I really don't want to look at Gail Simone anymore. So yeah, Westworld went woke and went broke. And the whole second season was about deconstructing the male characters. You had the best villain with the Man in Black, William, with Ed Harris playing for him. Remember, this season 1 started out with James Marsters, I think his name is. I always get it mixed up with Marsden. James Marsters, Anthony Hopkins, Ed Harris, Jimmy what's his name who played young William, and then we had Evan Rachel Wood and Tandy Newton. And now we're just the guy who plays Bernard. He's also playing Jim Gordon in The Batman. Jeffrey Wright, good actor, woke as hell. Now we're left with Jeffrey Wright, Evan Rachel Wood, who was a tard, and Tandy Newton, who's really good. The first episode was awful. It was boring. It was terrible. Oh, you have Aaron Paul, too, playing Jesse from Breaking Bad. And Tandy Newton is great. You see her on the screen. She livens everything up because she has acting ability. She has charisma. She has charm. She's likable. Evan Rachel Wood is just... I know she can act, but now they're making her the bad guy. That's fine, but it's not really plausible. And if you think about anything for a second, you used to have to be able to think about Westworld. It used to be kind of a smart show. Now it's filled with plot holes, okay? And if you think about it too much, they're there. But it's much easier to find them now. And it's supposed to be more linear storytelling. But you get woke, you go broke. And believe me, they're going to go woke. They're going to have Aaron Paul being led around like a little dog by Evan Rachel Wood. And we'll have Maeve leading around everybody else. The only interesting thing, and I agree with Doomcock, is Stubbs, played by Chris Hemsworth's brother, and Jeffrey Wright. That looks pretty cool. Jer Hermy for $2. Hail, Gary. You make me smile. No, you don't. Oh, smile, Jer Hermy. And if you don't know what Jer Hermy is, it's Jeremy's face on Captain Marvel. The stuff of nightmares. Some nobody for $2. Nerdrotic. Why did it jump on me? There we go. Use both at the same time, Boomer. I know I was going to use both at the same time. I didn't say one at a time. But it can draw on my internet signal. I try to not have multiple computers going at the same time. And by the way, I'm a Gen Xer, some nobody. And yes, I know how to run a live stream. Thank you. But I couldn't use my other computer because it's updating. Turn on that pesky ad blocker, says Adam Wolfer for $2. Yeah, that worked out well. Hey, you know what? It's an honest living. I saw a YouTuber the other day. Speaking of pesky ad blocker, I saw a YouTuber do a video. I watched a little bit of it, not the whole thing, but it was imploring people to stop going to work and to shut down business and lock everything down, which for safety, I think we should listen and fine. I'm okay with that for a certain amount of time and be safe until we know more answers. And I'm okay with that. Then that same YouTuber made a video in their car on an Uber run. So after telling people to stay inside and don't work, they got in the Uber and went outside and did a video. Crazy. Mark C for $5. Gary, I went to Forbidden... Oh, I'm sorry. Some nobody for $2. I went to Forbidden Planet in 2001. Got first manga there. Oh, well, I missed you by 2 years because the first time I was there was in 2003, some nobody. And it's a great store, right? It's a great shop. So support it if you can. Mark C for $5. Gary, do you happen to have any late 70s 10-inch Lord of the Rings... I'm reading Lone Ranger and Silver Set Plus stand from Gabriel Toys, offering $125 if complete. I do not have that, but you're looking for one for $125. I know what you're talking about. Hey, Mark C's awesome. I love that you love the obscure. So do I. I'm a big fan. And I like that Lone Ranger movie. Lord of the Rings is on my head right now. Dr. Scott for $1.99. Thor director left because script made impossible to direct. Which one? You mean like recently? Or now the original Thor Dark World director was Patty Jenkins, and she got fired, right? Now I know they didn't bring back, and that's what they brought in. The Game of Thrones director wasn't good. And Taika Waititi is directing. I don't know which movie you're referring to though. They fired a director for Dark World. Sonic Spaz for $5. Comic shops have always been my life. Even when running one, I made it my mission to know every geek in town and what they wanted. Miss it already. Sonic Spaz for $5. What comic shop did you own? If you don't want to talk about it, that's cool. Yes, it was my mission as a professional nerd to know every nerd and geek in town, know what they want, learn everything about them, and everybody's a potential customer. Everybody's a potential nerd. That's why every fandom is okay. It just depends on who the bosses of Spider-Man or Doctor Who listen to. They're listening to the wrong people. They're listening to bad data. They're listening to what they want to believe instead of how the world really is. And that's narcissism. That's narcissism. Lee Jordan for $4.99. Kurtzman crack kills. It does. It does. Kurtzman crack is whack. Kurtzman crack is whack. I'm curious about the Thor director. Did one leave now or? Why Marvel fired its Thor 2 director? Patty Jenkins, yeah. She didn't leave. She got fired. DCG for $6.99 Canadian pesos. How's you and the family holding up during all this? Is your cooking game improving? All the best. DCG, no. I have no cooking game. I heat and prepare. It's great. It's fine. Mrs. Nerdrotic is a little cooped up. She's used to gallivanting around town and, going to her salon and holding court there and doing a bunch of hair all day and talking all day. She's a high energy person. I'm doing what I've been doing for months now. I'm in my room recording videos, doing live streams. I can't go to the gym, so I'm out of my routine. That kills me. I can't see my friends at Pete's Coffee. That kills me. Other than that, I'm fine, and the kids are fine. Both kids are in school right now. My oldest is taking a class online, and my youngest is taking a class online. So we're good. Thanks for asking. I hope you're good. I hope you are good. Oz Baxter Incorporated for $10. Gary, did you ever post on the Bleeding Cool boards back in the day when Dan Slott would come on there and act like an ass towards everyone? Time flies. Creator memories. Oz Baxter, I did not partake in the forums, but I read them all. Oh, yeah. I didn't, I don't know. I did not partake, but I saw them. I saw a lot of people back at, you know what I didn't see? I didn't see Daniel Kibblesmith in the forums. I didn't see anybody named Quinn in the forums. I didn't see any of these, Vita Alada, whatever her name is, Ayada. Or, I'm sorry, whatever Vita's name is. My apologies. Vita. I didn't see people like that in the forums. As a matter of fact, a lot of these writers I did not see. Gail Simone was known. She's been known for a long time. I remember when I enjoyed going to Bleeding Cool. Rebel Angel 151, $10. Just discovered your channel. Thanks for the latest review of Doctor Who. Could not agree more with the disaster that is Jodie Whittaker. At least we have old Who. Thanks for the amusement. You are very welcome, Rebel Angel 151, and I will be doing 2 Doctor Who reviews in the next 48 hours, Rose and Spearhead from Space. Sparkus Aurelius for $5. Gary, if you and your family want to get a real feel for Montana, come visit and you can stay at my family's vacation home in the mountains. Serious. Sparkus Aurelius, I might take you up on that. Thank you. That's a very generous offer. We will not have a house party in your house. No, just kidding. Melissa, Mrs. Nerdrotic, has a lot of family up there. A lot of Wagners up there. And that's why we have a trailer. I have a trailer that might be my house soon. I need to get like this little tiny trailer that we bought. That's supposed to be our guest house in our backyard. Dr. Scott for $1.99. McCoy rocks. Carl Urban does well as in DeForest Kelly's shoes. He does. No, he was great as Dr. McCoy. I will freely admit that. Edward Maidment for $5. Since the Admiral from Discard looks like she just ate a real sour lemon and can't stop dropping F-bombs, can we call her Admiral F-Face? Yes. Admiral F-Face. I call her Admiral Sheer fucking Hubris. Son of the Wolf for $5. How do you feel about Conan the Barbarian? I'm a huge fan and buy every comic I can get my hands on. But they're hard to find. Yeah, individually, if you're looking, they're hard to find. If you want to buy a complete set for a semi-reasonable price, Gary at nerdrotic.com. Conan the Barbarian is a brilliant comic. I have not read every issue. I've read a lot. I would say I've read 60% of the run. I am going to embark on reading the rest because I have a little extra time on my hand. And Conan was a great comic. But I've also recently got into Elric. I'm like, love Elric. Where has that been all my life? Mary Ashmead. Oh, she sends the cat farting hearts. I hope you're doing well, Mary. You had another aftershock today. I think you had a 5.1 recently. That's a pretty big earthquake. Raging Festus for $2. I'm here for the honesty. Why, thank you. That's all I can be. I'm not right all the time. I'm not an expert, but I will be honest. Again, somebody put out a video. Does Nerdrotic, has Nerdrotic even watched Star Trek? Yes. Have I watched every episode recently within the last 5 years? No, absolutely not. I haven't seen Voyager. I haven't seen, maybe I've seen a couple of episodes of Voyager in the last 5 years, but Voyager, I've watched the complete series a couple of times. Last time I watched it 15 years ago. Enterprise, I watched some of it when it aired, and I caught up on a little bit while Star Trek Discovery was premiering because everyone was telling me to watch it because I refused to watch it. I watched it when it aired and I didn't like it. I went back and I appreciate the later seasons more. Still don't like the first 2 seasons very much, but they're better than Discovery and Picard. Yes. So when, it depends on your perspective. Again, it depends on what an old comic is to you or an old show. I'm 50. So I watched a lot of Star Trek that I've completely forgotten, and I've had to go back and rewatch it to remember it. It takes repeat viewings, lots of it. But am I an expert? Am I a Trek-spert? No, of course not. Don't pretend to be. But I know Star Trek when I see it. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. Hi, Nerdrotic. I'm from Argentina. Little suggestion that you could do on the end of every one of your review videos. It's recommend a good old comic that you can read that was good from the old days. Zentolten for 100 Argentinian dollars. I can do that. Certainly. How about at the end, if I do a comic book video, I can recommend that. And if I do a Doctor Who video, I'll recommend an episode. If I do a Star Trek video, I'll recommend another show. I can do that. That's a good idea. I like that. I love ideas. IK1906 for $5. Do you think that Kirby, Ditko, Schwartz, and those other old stalwarts, if they were around, would be able to get the industry through this? They wouldn't be allowed in the industry. Kirby would be considered sexist. Ditko would be considered a right-wing maniac. Schwartz would make it. Schwartz would be fine. But no, they're all white males. No, it's a different time. It's a different time. We need a Jim Shooter, or at least, you know what, a Joe Quesada in the beginning before he got, before his head exploded. Joe Quesada in the beginning was a good EIC at Marvel. He was. I'll stand by that. He turned the industry around. He brought it back from bankruptcy. There were some good books, and then he wasn't. Kind of like Stephen Moffat. Started out good, then he wasn't. Dust is short sci-fi films from independent artists. Oh, that's good. They are well produced. Each episode is unique on different concepts in sci-fi, 10 to 30 minutes each. That's brilliant. I will check that out. IT Ninja, thank you for the suggestion. We need much more of that. Mr. Reborn for 20 Danish krona. You would like my Doctor Who fanzine at fanfictionmagazine.com. I'll check it out, Mr. Reborn. I gotta get my notepad out. Hang on. Sorry if I make you seasick. I don't have my camera on a tripod. I have it in like this bendy arm thing because this is my art table that my dad got me when I was 24, and I'll never get rid of it because my dad was like the cheapest human being alive. So, I had Star Wars toys at Christmas and stuff, but my mom had to buy that on her salary. My dad grew up dirt poor on a farm with no dad, right after the Depression. So he was a bit of a miser, he knew how to appreciate his money. He went through some real shit, okay? Like real shit, like a lot of our parents did. He had a crippled mom. My grandma was crippled, and a brother. And he was 6 when his dad died, and they still had to work on a goddamn farm. So the first chance he got the hell out of Dodge, joined the Navy, started his own business, and became Dr. Seuss's accountant. But he was also a cheap bastard. So when he bought me this drawing table, it was a peace offering, okay? Because he wasn't very supportive of my art when I was a kid. I used to draw all the time. I draw. I'm an artist. I still do. I can do it. I'm capable. But I never went to school, never honed my skill after that because my dad discouraged it. And he felt so bad later after I got sober and we reconciled. He felt so bad. He bought me a drawing table. That was his way of apologizing. Now he didn't come out and say he was sorry because my dad was a man's man, didn't do that shit. But he bought me this table. And at first I didn't get it. And then I'm like, oh, this is him saying he was sorry. And that's cool. So I'll never get, it's one of my most prized possessions. And it's just like a cheap Aaron Brothers art table, but it's mine that I got from my dad, who has been gone for a long time now. Robert Pearson for £5. Hi, Gary. I make a lot of prop replicas. My R2D2 is my favorite. What prop replica would you like if you could have anything? And is your UK trip still on? UK trip is on for October. We're going to be there in October for sure. This will be blown over by then. We'll be there. Had to cancel my April trip. It disappointed the hell out of me, but we will be there. Dalek. But I have an RC Dalek, but I'd like a big one. A big one. And I would fund it. Now, there is a Dalek for sale in North Carolina on eBay for like $4,000. And it looks like the Russell T Davies era. That's way too much money. I'd rather build it. I also want a life-size TARDIS, but I'd rather build it. And I don't know where I'd put it right now. My house is very small. It's basically an overblown condominium. I could buy a bigger house somewhere else, but it's San Francisco, and now I'm stuck here for a little while. Let's be honest. Thank you, Gary. You're smart, honest entertainment. Paula, thank you. I hope you're safe over there. I hope you're doing okay. You take care of yourself, and I will try to entertain you as much as I can. And I appreciate the £1.99. You're the best. She rocked the shirt on Twitter. That was the best picture. Thank you so much. Nerdy Nazgul for £5. If Troughton was not nailed to it, 54 years of who? If Troughton had not nailed it, 54 years of who would not have happened. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. That is worth repeating. If Patrick Troughton had not nailed the role at the most important regeneration in the show's history, I'm just adding a little bit, 54 years of who would not have happened. RIP Doctor Who. Nerdy Nazgul, you are 1000% right. Eric Stuller for $10. Stay angry, Gary. My Who rage has festered and grown, and I'm not letting it go anytime soon. By the way, I keep hearing this rumor that you owned a comic shop. Is that true? It is true, and I will own one again. And I promise you, I will not sell any garbage by Mark Waid, Gail Simone, and I'm thinking about Tom King. I'm this close, but I kind of deserve to be blocked. A little bit. I'm going to say that, let's be real. I was kind of a dick, but, listen, it reminded me of how much he duped the comic shops. Part of the reason we're here, and here we go, Tom King. And my Doctor Who rage has not gone down. I'm working on a video right after I'm done here. Tom King duped comic shops with DC. So fuck DC for that Batman bullshit. You screwed a lot of comic shops over. They lost a lot of sales. And how does that fucking look now? And now they don't say a fucking word to comic shops. DC used to be the best. Where's Bob Wayne? Bob Wayne would not put up with this shit. Maybe they said something, behind closed doors, but you know what? It's not just the comic shops. We're talking about the fans here. You want the fans to be engaged. You want to be as transparent as possible because the fans are what you're going to need. And if they're feeling blown off in any way, they're just going to say, fuck you. We're done. I can take my money and spend it somewhere else. I can find another hobby. I can start a YouTube channel, or I can watch YouTube, or I can make my own damn comic. Or I can start a YouTube channel and make my own damn comic. Do it. Do it. If you haven't seen it, watch Star Drunk. It's written and then acted while drunk, and it's still better than STD and Picard. I will watch that, Declan Lyons. Thank you. That sounds kind of funny. Hail, Gary. I know later you're going to cover the TFFDBPJW posting and inspirational video today. You mean the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker? Of course I am. Have you seen the Chibnall short story on BBC site? Fodder for a future video? Yes. I have seen it, Wayne Tyson, and yes. Okay, we've got Heels versus Babyface is passing on a phallic symbol. Thank you, Heels versus Babyface. And by the way, thank you for the 99 cents. And a unicorn, I got to repeat this again. A unicorn is a giant phallic symbol because that's what my sister told me it was. And then it makes Unicorn Store with Brie Larson look completely different because it's all about the D. It's all about the D. Subscribe to Heels versus Babyface. And Sassy Marie for $1.49 does the same thing. And Saucy Wench for for 99 cents gives me a happy face with hearts in the eyes. That's sweet. Pilgrim Driver for $2. Gary, Gail is protected by her gash. She is. Oh, it's funny. Anthony Scott for $5. It's only because of Kyle Rayner's girlfriend in a freezer that Gail is in comics. Gail is in comics because she did the exact same thing your boy Zach did. She trolled people, except she wormed her way in an industry. She's proven enough to where she belongs, but she's also proven that she's a very unhappy person who has impulse issues. She has impulse issues, which puts her at risk right now. She is at major risk for what's going on right now because of her impulse issues. And, part of practicing these principles in all of our affairs, that's something we learn from recovery. That means we want to change our behavior in every aspect. Okay. So if I have impulse issues, I would probably practice that on social media. If I feel like I'm about to write something that might piss off a potential customer, not just for me, but for somebody else at a comic book store, I might want to refrain from that. If I really need to get that message out, write it down on a piece of paper and throw it in the trash. That's what my sponsor, that's what my sponsor recommends to me. That's what I recommend to my sponsees when I have them. If you write stuff down, if you need to make amends, write it on a piece of paper, throw it in the trash. Do not put it on social media. Don't put any of your personal shit on social media, especially when you're going through a crisis. And Gail has obviously been going through a crisis for quite some time. Again, she has impulse issues, not super healthy up here and everywhere else. And that puts her at risk. And I want her to be healthy. I want her to be the healthiest, happiest person she can be. And maybe she'll be a little nicer online. Just saying. Jason Cannon for $5. Gary, you think the death of physical comics is due to the change of digital technology? No. I would say digital had like a 0 factor on it. Digital never took off. I know some people live by it, but you know, there's people who still live by vinyl. There's people who love cassette tapes. There's a whole retro thing where people like VHS. There's always somebody for something, but the normies will never get into digital comics because they don't look good on your phone. They only look good on an iPad, and not that many people have iPads anymore. They have these giant phones, which are shit for reading comics. I can barely read a comic in a comic book. I need to break out my spyglass and my reading glasses that you'll never see because they're ugly as hell. They're useful, but they're not they're practical, but they're not aesthetically pleasing. Gary, please plug Day One Patch Kids for me. Thanks. Rotten Tanuki for $2. Where is it? Rotten? I mean, I'm pitching it. Patch Kids. What is it? Is it Indiegogo? Is it Kickstarter? I need more deets. Cabbage Patch Kids? Just answer in the chat. You don't have to give another super chat. Just hit @Gary and tell me what it is. Adriana Escobar for $5. Thank you very much for entertaining us. Take care. You are welcome. Gracias. De nada. And hopefully you will come back. I will continue entertaining you. Joshua Riddle for $10. Remember Where's Waldo? I just did that, but with bat symbols hidden in the Joker. Mine melted. Just look at the first shot in the teaser trailer. Phillips was subtle about but his genius is amazing. Yeah, you know what? I've got the ding. I've got it on digital. I haven't bought it on Blu-ray yet. I need to do that. I'll check that out. That sounds fun. I did see all the giant rats. SF Giants 49er for $5.49, 5 pounds. Where you get this picture from Picard? Stay healthy. Oh, I just Google, I think silly Picard. And then I used a Gaussian lasso and I cut it out as a PNG and I just popped it on. And Mary Ashmead for $5. I'm glad your family is well. My boys' school is online as well. They aren't doing graduation either. Neither is ours. I'm pissed that they are skipping graduation. Yes, they're skipping graduation. And yeah, couldn't you do it later or maybe at the beginning of next school year? I don't know. Well, I guess if you're graduating, you can't be there. But if you, that's dumb. Yeah, I don't know. That sucks. Sonic's, listen, it's an unusual situation. We've never had anything like this before. I mean, it's not fine everywhere. I'm not trying to minimize this. But it's pretty fine around here. This is all precautionary. And all I'm going to say is I'm going to be a good little citizen. I'm going to be a responsible person on YouTube, and I'm not going to tell people to do things reckless. I'm not going to tell you to go to work or anything like that. I think we should listen to our government. I don't know about listening to the mainstream media. I can't go that far. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Find somebody you trust, call your doctor, find good information and listen. And I hope it was all worth it. And if it wasn't, I don't know. Alls I know is there's blame going on, and it's partisan blame, and and it's the same shit that's going on in entertainment right now. That I won't forget. I will not forget that. I know where this came from. Sonic Spaz for $5. The store was a pop culture chain in Missouri. I just managed the comic side for a couple of years. We were the top store when I was in charge. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Maybe I don't know. I might need some help on the online side. And I need somebody with experience. I need a producer with YouTubing experience, like major YouTubing experience. And I might need some help once Mrs. Nerdrotic gets that up. So email me. If you want to do something on the side. Gregory Ramirez for $2. Jungle Video is the last true video store in SoCal. Where is it, Gregory? Is that in SoCal like San Diego or SoCal Orange County or SoCal LA? I mean, technically it's NoCal, SoCal, LoCal. So San Diego's LoCal. Lady Gravemaster for $2. Gary, sorry to destroy your narrative. You're Gen X. I'm Gen X. Yes, I am. I am most definitely Gen X. We are actually, there was an article that came out today that we're the ones handling this the best because we were left alone by our parents most of the time. We were latchkey kids. We were DIY. Do it yourself. I can't even say it now. Do it yourself. We were the do it yourself generation. We made mixtapes. We used to sit around in rooms, listen to cassette tapes and records for hours, smoking a bunch of weed and just talking. And fortunately for me, the person I am in quarantine with, the great Mrs. Nerdrotic, I have known since I was 15, and we have done this. We have been locked down in rooms, smoking lots of pot and listening to records for hours. We've been doing this for decades. So we cool. Watch Superman Red Sun so bad ruin the comic. RFR for $3.49 New Zealand. I heard. That's why I'm staying the hell away from it. I heard it got woke. And it's like a story that doesn't need to be woke. You end up ruining your message by wokeifying a story that doesn't need to be woke. Read the comic. It's great. It is. Listen, I'm not a commie. Okay. I'm not for it. The communists, ran the Beaklers out of Russia and, killed people and stole their land. And that's why they had to come here. That's why I'm here, because the communists, chased out my family and stole their farms and their land. So fuck them. I got 50 VHS titles for free. Keep them. Why not? It's physical media. I kept my VHSs. I have my Star Wars, which have the original cuts on them. Yes. But thanks to my good friend Odin, I now have a disc. So hail Odin. Thank you very much. Gregory Ramirez. Oh, it's in Huntington Beach, Cal. That's SoCal. I love Huntington Beach. It's great. George Mahalo for George Jorge $9.99. Hey there, Gary. Thank you for telling me about Indiegogo comics. Since Dark Knight Returns, everyone and their crazy uncles have been deconstructing our heroes. Thank you. A room of drunk lemures could over time make a fan favorite comic book series. Avoid internet gas. Hail Nerdrotic. Hail George. Yes, it's time to reconstruct the hero. And quite frankly, that's what Indiegogo is doing. That's what Richard is doing. That's what Ethan is doing. That's what John is doing. They are reconstructing the hero. That's it. That's what we need to get done. And it's getting done. I would like it to get done in Marvel and DC. And you're absolutely right. There's a point where we got to just say enough. The problem is a lot of us did, and it hurt the comic shops. But I will say the comic shops own some part of the responsibility. I'll repeat that again. They are the ones who had the power to enact the change. But they can't get together on anything. Even now, Even now, they can't get together on anything. So I put my hands up in the air. Mile High Comics was smart. They got out of the new comics business. They're going to survive. And that's what I'm going to do. So there will be another comic shop. There will be another comic shop, probably in Northern California for a little while anyway. And it will be mine. But it's not going to sell Marvel. It's not going to sell Marvel unless they drastically change their act, which would be probably firing everybody, getting rid of Sana Amanat. I will not back any organization with her in it. And Dan Buckley, who has not responded directly back to comic shops, he responded through Newsarama with permission. Instead of maybe, I don't know, a direct mass email or a post on their Twitter. But the thing is, you know why they don't want to post on their Twitter or their Facebook or their YouTube? Is that's not their priority. They don't give a fuck. They would be afraid it would make their channel look bad. It would make Disney look bad. See, Disney is so afraid to look bad that they'd rather die. They'd rather die. And that's a Disney thing. That's a negative. So we don't want to put anything negative out there. So we'll put it through the press, but we won't put it on any of our official platforms that can reach more people. Actually, that video would probably get a lot of views. It would make them a lot of money, but they're not going to do it. So fuck them. And they're going to go to digital first, which is betraying the comic shops, which is absolutely betraying the comic shops. Kaz. Oh my God. I don't want to mess up your last name. Kinakuman. Kinakuman. Is that close? I don't know. I don't know what you had to say there, but let me, you just said, you just donated $2. Thanks, Kaz. I appreciate it. Okay. I got to wrap this one up, folks. My voice is starting to go and I got a video to do and I want to keep it around 2 hours. I really thank you for your time. If I missed any super chats, they will be in a square up later on. I don't think I did, but if I did, I apologize. There is a super chat square up for Friday Night Tights that I have recorded. It's going to be on Nerdrotic Live within, I don't know why I'm looking. I don't have a watch. I don't know why I looked at my wrist. Within about an hour. And then this will be up later tonight. Please subscribe here at Nerdrotic if you haven't already. Please subscribe to Nerdrotic Live, which is my alternate channel, which shows all my live streams. Thank you to all the Modrotics, Mikey Woods, Paula, Chris Persia, Mark Lerzeth, Sheila Allen. Thank you, Sheila. And who else is there? Nyla Shadow. Thank you very much. And that's all I see right now. And please subscribe to As Heels versus Babyface. He's on top of this. Go check out Richard's video, Diversity in Comics. Please check out his video where he gives $1,000 to a comic shop. And yes, I'm sticking by my word. I will match that. I got to email him. So I will see you guys later. Support independent creators. Support independent creators on YouTube. Support Anas Abdeen. He's an independent game creator. Check out The Rookie Critic. God dang it, Sheila. Who are the guys who do the little short animated movies? The stuff for Cecil. Who are the guys who do stuff for Cecil? Check them out. Check out Indiegogo Books. And there's a lot of great campaigns going on. Richard's got something going on with the Expendables, which is really cool. And I think I heard there's another Frog book coming out. I don't know, kind of a rumor. And go Az. Yeah, Az is awesome. Subscribe to Heels versus Babyface. Subscribe to Critical Drinker. Subscribe to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Subscribe to Midnight's Edge After Dark, all my friends. And I will see you tomorrow for the anniversary of New Who. And we will just talk about classic good Who. And don't forget the hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather.